What's up, everyone?
Hey.
Alright, so first order of business. Thoughts on the Revival of F movie?
Yes, we have both seen Revival of F or Resurrection of F or whatever the fuck it's called. I liked it, but I feel like as time passes, I'm gonna like it less and less.
Uh, I'm
I,
kind of the same way. I mean, when I was watching the movie, I didn't exactly try and notice all the inconsistencies while I was at the theater because I'm surrounded by a bunch of DBZ fans, so it's more of me trying to enjoy the experience. But then I downloaded it onto my laptop and watched it again a couple days later, and yeah, it's a lot of
it's
stuff doesn't exactly make sense.
it's really slow on a second viewing. Like I've seen it twice now, and the second time I watched it, my God, I was bored out of my mind waiting for the interesting shit to happen.
For me, I've seen it, I want to say, twice in English, and then I watched the dubbed versions that people put the Japanese and then the Spanish dub of it at least once. So I've seen the movie a total of 4 times.
I The dub wasn't very good. The voice acting was not that good this time. Hello, Teddy.
What's going on?
Teddy, are you there?
Oh, the heck was that?
No, background noise.
Is he at Mickey D's or Burger King again?
Probably.
Alright, so yeah. So you said you liked the movie then?
I did, but it does have a lot of problems. A lot of logic problems, like Master Roshi fighting at the same level as everybody else. That's really, really weird.
Yeah. I mean, you could also, the way I put it, even though we didn't really see him train, I mean, it's not like he just sits around and looks at porn all the time. There has to be other things he does with his life.
But from what we've seen, that's exactly what he does with his time, all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, Piccolo and the others have received training from King Kai and shit, and like, they said it's too dangerous for Yamcha and Shatsu, so we left them home. But Master fucking Roshi is somehow able to keep up with Gohan, Piccolo, and Tien, and whoever the fuck Jocko is.
Yeah, I didn't get the whole thing of it being too dangerous for Yamcha. I mean, yeah, maybe fighting Frieza would have been dangerous, but fighting just basic low-level henchmen, when even Yamcha at this point in the series would be stronger than the Ginyu Force and shit. And
Teddy, if you can hear us, we can't hear you, like, at all. We're not hearing anything from you.
anyway, yeah, I. That's one of the inconsistencies that I didn't get. Another thing is, like, was it trying to think of Frieza's henchman name who said that two of Frieza's men were strong as Dodoria and Zarbon and shit, and then they go to Earth and fucking Piccolo's having fucking...
Yeah. I can't remember what his name is. His name is a play on sashimi.
Sorbert or something, or...
Sorbet is the one with the fucking Kill Goku ring.
Yeah.
Because
like some
that...
type shit.
I can't believe that worked. I really, really want an explanation for how that worked.
I guess the only thing I can put off on it, and I've had other people argue with me on it, I've had people agree with me, is at the beginning of the film, Whis tells Goku that he lets his guard down way too much, and when he's susceptible to basically any form of attack because he becomes too trusting.
I know, I get that. It was foreshadowed, but it's just the fact that that fucking beam hurt him. Like, I don't know, whatever. It's whatever.
He borrowed a Green Lantern ring.
Yeah, maybe it
was probably a Yellow Lantern ring.
Maybe it's like Star Wars. They have to angle their deflector shield.
Maybe.
But the voice acting, though, I really, like, I don't know, DBZ has always had a lot of groaners in it, but this time, it seems like the voice actors are starting to not give a shit anymore, because they've been doing these over and over and over again for fucking ever now.
Yeah, but at the same time, if they're not giving a shit about the product, that's kind of sad, because they had like a how many year fucking hiatus, and other than Battle of the Gods and shit, that's like the first bit of
now,
voice.
Remember, they've done like, you there, Teddy?
Working now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know what was going on there.
We're talking about the new DBZ movie. Have you seen it by any chance?
The Dragon Ball Z movie?
Yeah, Revival of Frieza.
No, but I heard a bunch about it. Like, Vegeta's actually the hero this time.
Nope.
No!
Nope.
Wait. When is Vegeta going to get his time to shine?
Vegeta almost got to be the hero, and then Goku swiped in and stole it from him.
Goku's a bastard. Vegeta deserves his own shit.
The thing that pisses me off, though, because now that the whole... Because this is going into that new series and everything, and they have Whis with this whole do-over crap, I mean, is it really that fucking big of a fucking deal?
Oh my god. I hated the do-over thing. I knew I was going to hate that going into the movie, but I knew it was coming, and I still hated it. It's the stupidest plot device they've ever introduced to the series, because now they can just do that. If something goes wrong...
Shit, I just lost this fight. Let me turn back time for you. Do it right.
Yeah, let's go back 3 minutes and you can fix it.
Or so they have the device from Galaxy Quest?
It's not a device, it's a power that the fucking God of Destruction's assistant has. He can just turn back time whenever he wants to.
So anytime they could just be like, hey, do it.
Yeah. Goku's dead.
They've always been able to wish people back to life and shit, which is really kind of cheap.
Yeah, they exploited the shit out of that throughout the series. But now they can stop someone from dying in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, I saw it coming from a mile away because we've seen and heard previews about it for months now. And fucking Freezer blows up the planet, and then fucking God of Destruction assistant Whis is like, oh shit, that just happened. Turns out for 3 minutes, then he goes in and fucking steals the dude's and
I didn't hear anything you just said. What is that noise, Teddy? Sounds like you're crunkling up a fucking chip bag over there.
That might be me.
Reaching in your food bag.
Alright, yeah, like I was saying, the whole thing just pissed me off, because like you said, Art, it's not like we didn't see this coming from a mile away. We had spoilers on it on the whole thing for months now before the
Yeah, thanks to the internet, we now know the fucking complete plot and details of a movie before seeing it.
Yep. Well, could be worse.
That thing way too much, because then it's going to make a whole entire new series I'm interested in, and I probably won't watch it if they just redo every single fucking loss.
I'm curious how they're going to go about doing the exact same shit again in Dragon Ball Super. Since apparently in Super they're just redoing what they did in the movies.
Yeah, I read that in the battle, the battle of the gods are. But the thing is about Super, they're actually making Beerus to be a lot more evil and sinister than the actual battle of the gods, so where he actually seems like a threatening opponent. So I mean, I guess that's a good thing, making him more to be like a villain and.
So he's got a motivation beyond pudding now.
I think so. I think the last episode, because there's a lot of people complaining about the artwork, the last episode was them versus Goku as a Super Saiyan 3.
That complaining about the artwork is stupid. They're bitching about fast motion cuts in a fucking fight scene. You're always gonna find shitty animation in any anime. Dragon Ball Z has all sorts of fucking animation mistakes throughout the entire series.
To me, it just looks like they just went and randomly paused at separate times just to try and crap.
It's the same concept as pausing during a movie and catching an actor pulling a funny face.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, right? I've always wondered this. Actually, I wanted to post this question out to the internet. But what is a bad anime? Does it even exist?
Oh, fuck yeah!
No, I mean, because anime, even the shittiest anime, whatever you name, is probably a very obsessed group of people who will love it and defend it. You know what I mean?
I mean, man, I've seen
everything. I get what he's saying. Everything has its fan base and everything. So you can't necessarily just call an anime bad just because you don't like it.
There are anime out there that are absolute shit, though.
Right. But even somebody who's like, no, Digimon is just a crappy Pokemon ripoff. But there's other people who'll be like, no, Digimon is superior to Pokemon for these reasons.
Oh, are you talking about like a mainstream anime? Because there's lots of anime, dude.
Right.
Like, lots. There's as many. There's like, anime in Japan is made as frequently as movies are made over here, I think.
Right. So the shit, we're just not getting it?
If you want an example of shitty anime, look up Bennett the Sage and watch his series Anime Abandoned.
Abandoned.
Anime Abandoned.
I have to look that up.
He watches, like, he reviews, like, the shittiest of the shitty anime. Like, stuff that pretty much nobody likes, but it exists. Nobody over here, at least. The 90s were great for bad anime. The 90s, we got all kinds of shitty anime over here and terrible, terrible dubs.
Yeah, that's. I fell in love with anime in the 80s when I fell out of love with anime in the 90s. For sure.
I don't remember what anime it was, but I saw this example where there's this dub and there's a black guy and they have him talk like this. He's a gigantic, like 9-foot tall black man who talks like this.
Right, I saw that. Yeah, what the hell was that?
I think it was like Street Fighter or something.
Yeah. Street Fighter or Fatal Fury game or Tekken anime.
Yeah, I feel like it was based on a fighting game, probably, because it's a gigantic fighter dude. Shut up, annoying kid.
Because they just flashed to America. Here's what's going on in America. Right? Which they did that in one of the Godzilla movies. They just showed a flash of what's going on in America, and of course, it was a shootout between some gangster guys and the cops. Right. This is what happens on a Tuesday in America.
Well, the current situation with this new Dragon Ball Super series is that people are bitching that the animation isn't up to par in every single frame.
Did we care?
One Piece sucks.
I'm just talking about animation wise.
But no, the thing is, Dragon Ball Super, I watched the episode a couple times, and if you don't try and pause it at random times, it looks basically just like any other Dragon Ball Z episode.
I personally don't like the animation as a whole because I don't like how new anime looks. It's too polished and clean. But there's nothing I can do.
That's something I do miss. I do miss the grittiness of the old series.
I don't like how there's so much CG added into anime now. Because there's like a fuck ton of it. It's like half computer. It's probably all computer. It's probably all drawn on like a drawing tablet.
Yeah, probably.
You know,
Like,
I was talking to a friend the other day about who could make an actually decent graphic-wise and story-wise fucking Dragon Ball Z film. I told him that for the explosions and all the lens flares, they should hire J.J. Abrams and fucking Michael Bay to do all the fucking explosions and lens flares, and then have fucking Steven Spielberg or somebody do the fucking storyline directing or something like that with assistance from Akira Toriyama.
I don't think Steven Spielberg would allow Michael Bay to be in his presence.
Oh, he's just doing the explosions. He's not doing anything else.
Just the, yeah.
So I don't think Steven Spielberg would allow his name to appear on a movie where Michael Bay's name also appears.
Y'all know the first Transformers movie, Spielberg and Michael Bay.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Spielberg,
shit.
Michael Bay actually hired him to direct it. Like, do it. And it was Spielberg's call. Spielberg's call. He was like, "Who should direct this Transformers?" He's like, "Yeah, let's get this Michael Bay guy."
Fuck me, I didn't know that.
He's like, "Are you sure, Spielberg?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're doing it." He made all the calls in the first one.
When was the last time Spielberg did a fucking movie? Like, directed?
Lincoln. You see Lincoln?
What?
Lincoln?
Link?
Daniel
Oh,
Is
oh,
Lincoln?
I haven't seen that yet. I've been.
Well, have you heard about his new project, though? Oh, it's exciting.
Ready Player One, but I don't know what that is.
It's a book, which actually, the audio book was narrated by Will Wheaton.
Oh boy.
So the story is that everybody in the future plays this virtual reality game, right? Where you're really in the game, right? And it's like, then the inventor of the thing, who's like a combination of like Walt Disney meets Steve Jobs meets Jim Henson, you know.
That's a scary combination.
Right, with little Willy Wonka in there, and he wants to get Gene Wilder to play this guy. Right.
Gene Wilder is still alive?
Yep, and he's going to be old as shit, and he's going to be dead, but somehow has saved his personality in this computer game that everybody in the world wants to play, because if you win, you, like Willy Wonka, you own the company, right? That's the concept of the game, like a virtual reality Hunger game with Willy Wonka. It's fucking crazy.
Kind of sounds like the plot of the movie Gamer. Did you ever see Gamer?
Yeah, it's going to be like that. It's definitely a gamer movie concept thing.
Was Gamer a big movie? I just kind of found it at a video store one time.
No, it was pretty much a big movie. Right. Dexter was in that, right?
I cannot hear you, dude. You sound like you're half a fucking room away.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
So I'm not sure if this is the microphone. Is this the microphone?
That's my
Where's the microphone?
right now.
Okay. But yeah, Gamer. Was that Dexter in that movie?
Fuck, Fuck, I don't know. I think so. Maybe.
Redhead guy.
The guy, that one fucking Scottish actor was the star. What the hell's his name?
This is Sparta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? It's gonna drive me nuts.
Gerald. Gerard.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah. Gerard.
Yeah.
Gerald.
Gerald. Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Has anybody seen that new Fantastic Four movie yet?
Nope, and I'm not gonna.
Don't see it. That's what I hear. Don't see it. That's what everybody's saying.
I wasn't gonna see it because I don't give a shit about the Fantastic Four, and I never have.
Well, they're saying it's slow, it's boring, and that your director's original vision was probably slower and more boringer.
From what I've seen, a lot of fucking stills that show like the actress chick wearing a bad wig. So like they obviously did a bunch of really last minute reshoots to make the movie more action oriented.
Yep.
And I've heard mixed things about Doctor Doom. I've heard they did him great, and I've heard they fucked him up worse than anyone conceived that they could fuck him up. So,
Did you see the Red Letter Media review on it?
yeah,
Yeah.
but they were really kind of wishy-washy on their opinion of it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how it could get lower ratings than Dragon Ball, a movie like Dragon Ball Evolution.
Because people are reactionary and like to pretend like everything is the worst movie ever made when it first comes out, and then it chills a little bit later.
Well, see, the thing is,
Go ahead.
Dragon Ball's doing great in the theaters, considering it's not on that many screens across the country.
He said
Limited release.
he said he can't believe it's doing worse than Dragon Ball Evolution in the rating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got lower rating than Dragon Ball Evolution and the Last Airbender movie that fucking Shamalama Ding Dong did.
Fuck that.
Wait, it's not doing worse than Kirk Cameron's Saving Christmas.
Man, put Kirk Cameron in your movie, guaranteed 0% on Rotten Tomatoes anymore.
0%.
You know what's funny? Everybody talks about how shitty that Left Behind movie is, but I've seen the original Left Behind movies, and I guarantee you they're worse.
There were original Left Behind movies.
Yes, apparently they were also left behind.
Yeah, there were like 3 other Left Behind movies, and they were all starring Kirk Cameron. The only difference is that they actually had the Antichrist in them, who was like this evil Russian guy named Nikolai Karpatka.
The Antichrist.
Yeah.
They didn't make, like, I'm kind of pissed that they didn't continue with those, because I really actually wanted to see how they were going to do the whole Mark of the Beast, Christians and, you know, non-Mark receivers getting killed by the millions. I wanted to see that.
The sad thing is, I've read the book series, and it actually is a pretty decent book series and shit. It's like,
I wanted to see all the apocalyptic tribulation shit that happens, but they didn't make it that far because the movies were fucking terrible.
Was that written by Pat Robertson?
No.
But it was sold on the 700 Club or something. They would like talk to.
Oh, well, fuck yeah. Fucking 700 Club, TBN, they all pimped out that fucking book series. Anybody ever seen the Omega? Either of you ever seen the Omega Code?
no.
Nope.
Dude, see the Omega Code and then watch the sequel.
Oh.
The first one I don't remember very well, but the second one is a TBN produced movie with fucking Michael Biehn as the star, and the Antichrist is that guy who like is the Q in Austin Powers, Basil, he's the Antichrist. And that creepy little fucker that's like always a bad guy, Udo Kier, he's like the false prophet. And the president is R. Lee Ermey.
There, looks like it's on the on YouTube, like
Huh?
the whole movie.
Oh,
The whole movie is on YouTube. It looks like.
Omega Code? Megiddo, yeah. That's the
Two.
one.
Omega Code 2.
Yeah.
The first one is that the guy from Starship Troopers?
The first one, I don't know. I only saw the first one time.
It looks like it's that guy.
The first one is weird because it's made by Christians, but it gets everything wrong as far as what the Bible says is going to happen. Like, it gets every single detail wrong. The second one actually tries to be the Book of Revelation.
Dude, I gotta see Noah. I want to see Noah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Noah yet.
It's gonna be great.
The first one, when the Antichrist declares himself to be God, like everybody turns on him all at the same time. In the second one, he actually has like Antichrist powers, like he makes shit rain from the sky, the seas start turning into blood. It's actually kind of good for a fucking movie made by TVN. The acting is terrible, but it's terrible in a funny way. But
Well, I like terrible in a funny way.
I've gone over how I feel about Michael Fine before. He's a shitty actor. He always has been.
You know who sucks? Matthew Modine.
Who fuck is that? I gotta look up who Matthew Modine is.
Exactly. Matthew Modine. Matthew Modine, he could have been something if he was any good, but no, he's not, so he isn't. But if he was, he'd be somebody right about now.
What the heck is he even in?
The Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, yeah.
Is he the main dude?
Right, exactly. Full Metal Jacket's a classic. How do you walk away from Full Metal Jacket and not have a career after that?
I don't
Right.
know.
I mean, it is one of my top 3 favorite movies, so.
Ask Mark
You're
Hamill.
Matthew Modine, that's how it happens. Oh, you're Matthew Modine.
Who?
Exactly.
I don't know. How do you go off like such a well-known TV show like The Wonder Years and have the career of Fred Savage?
Oh, that happens to kids. I mean, have you seen? What? Have you seen
Macaulay
what?
Culkin, fucking.
Yeah, go with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have I seen
Haley
what?
Joel Osment, right? Haley Joel Osment looks weird.
He's got more face than like face stuff. I don't know how to describe this. He's got way more surface area to his face than like eyes, nose, and mouth.
There you go. Yeah, I can't explain it. I don't know what that's about.
It's weird looking. It's like all his facial features are concentrated in the center of an island.
Yeah, his eyes are close together. It looks weird. I think that's what's wrong with like Fred Savage. I mean, because he was in a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah,
What?
so we were talking about, like, the live-action Winnie the Pooh and shit before Teddy came on here and shit. You know another live-action movie that I fucking hated that I just found out is getting a fucking sequel?
What?
That fucking Alice in Wonderland fucking movie.
They're gonna make a sequel to that?
Yep, they're making a sequel to it.
Massive blockbuster. It made like $600 million. It was
Did it?
massive. Of course, they make it.
God, I would have thought word of mouth would have killed that movie.
I don't. It was in 3D. It's Alice in Wonderland, and that's kind of why Disney's making all these live action.
I ain't even gonna lie. I was excited as shit for that movie. I heard Tim Burton and Alice in Wonderland, and I was like, awesome. This is gonna be fucking incredible. And then I saw it, and my opinion changed.
Oh yeah, it was not very. It was nothing to write home about. It was just like, oh look, yeah.
I mean, I didn't really like it. It just didn't really seem like Alice in Wonderland to me.
No, not really. I mean, I thought it was gonna be darker. Like, I was hoping it was gonna be
like Return to Oz.
sort of. I was hoping it was gonna be like some fucked up America McGee's Alice. I thought it was gonna be that.
Well, I mean,
But-
that's not the stupidest movie I heard was getting a sequel, though.
What?
You guys ever seen that movie Kung Pao Enter the Fist? That old fucking Japanese spoof with the fighting
Yeah.
cow? Apparently, that's been greenlit for a sequel now.
Okay.
No, they're not. I don't believe that for a second. There's no way.
No, seriously,
Well, I mean, they gave fucking Joe Dirt a sequel.
True.
I mean, it got horrible reviews at the theaters, but ever since it's been out of the theaters, the Kung Pao movie has actually grown a huge cult following. So
Okay, hold up, wait. I got to rant on Joe Dirt 2 for a second, because, oh my god. I didn't think I was going to see a movie in the rest of my life. I didn't think I was going to see a more disappointing comedy sequel than Dumb and Dumber 2, but I think Joe Dirt 2 actually outdoes Dumb and Dumber 2. Like,
Well, I mean, 2 or 3.
3.
Right. Yeah, because it's the third one. Right. One
But
where they play kids
I'm
and one where.
I'm going to be honest, I think the second Dumb and Dumber was actually better than the third one. Like, I remember laughing a couple times in Dumb and Dumber. Like when Bob Saget goes on that fucking crazy rant, he just shit all over my fucking bathroom! That was funny. I didn't laugh at all during Dumb and Dumber 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it, 3, whatever. But Joe Dirt was god-awful. It was The Wizard of Oz meets It's a Wonderful Life meets fucking Joe Dirt. Like, the storyline is that he gets sucked up into a goddamn tornado and taken back to the 60s, and he's being chased. His trailer lands on this head biker who has ruby biker boots, who he then fucking takes the biker boots and then says something that pisses off the biker gang, and they're like chasing him the whole movie, and reference to the first movie, reference to the first movie, reference to the first movie. Like 5-minute long scene where everybody's farting on Joe. Like, they're just farting on it for 5 minutes, and they're like, this is so hilarious. We've got to stretch this like a Seth MacFarlane joke. Bring in the hot chick. We'll have the hot chick fart on him, too. And, like, god damn, it was fucking stupid. The whole point of the movie is you're not a loser, Joe. You should be happy with your life. That's it. That's the whole moral of the fucking story. He goes to this alternate he goes to this alternate world where, like, not Kid Rock, but Kid Rock. Like, it's the same character, but just has a different name because they couldn't get Kid Rock. He marries his chick, and she turns into, like, a coke whore, heroin-using lesbian. And this is terrible. He's got to. Oh my God, she's a lesbian. I have to fix this. Now, it's way more apparent that it's a Happy Madison movie than the first one was. Like, it's modern Happy Madison at that.
that's probably the reason why it didn't get to hit theaters at all.
It was Happy Madison in the first place. And this is just a minor peeve, but he has his mullet again, and they don't explain why.
I don't know. Hair grows back, I guess.
His hair was a wig. His mullet was a wig. They replaced his mullet with a fucking bunch of dreadlocks at the end of the first movie. They like surgically put it on his head.
Right. Well, that was the idea from the beginning. Somehow, as a kid, he was wearing a wig on his head.
He was born without the top of his skull, so they put a wig on him, and the bones fused together. Yeah. And Dennis Miller is in the movie, and I don't know if he's playing his character from the first movie or not, but he's just like chilling with these two rednecks, telling the story. Fuck, how do I explain the narrative of this movie? Dennis Miller is telling a story that Joe Dirt is telling to a woman on a bench, but it's also a dream, but it's not. It's like, goddamn. Like, it does the shit where, like, you know, there's no place like home, and he goes back to the real world. But then, like, he finds some comic books he dug up, he buried in his fantasy.
Yeah,
My brain just, like, booted off trying to...
That literally just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, fuck that movie. I didn't like Joe Dirt first one, you know what I mean?
I did, though. I thought Joe Dirt was a funny-ass movie. Christopher Walken is in it.
Was he doing the same thing?
No, you get to see him when he was a mobster.
Okay.
But there's this thing he does in the movie that I swear to God, this has to be him, like, forcing them to put it in the movie. Like, you're gonna put it in the movie, or I'm pulling my contract. Where, like, he laughs, and then he ends his laugh with, like, a really loud, crackly force. His face gets all, like, gremlin-ish. It's something no human being would do. And I feel like he forced them. I feel like that he forced them to put that take in the movie. Like, you will do this, because I'm Christopher Walken, and I'm the only notable celebrity in this entire fucking movie.
And he's awesome.
And he is awesome. But he's the only person worth a fuck in the movie, because David Spade isn't worth a fuck anymore. Where the fuck has he been for the past 15 years? Where has he been since the end of the first Joe Dirt movie?
Did you see the Superman movie that didn't happen documentary?
Uh-uh.
The one with Nick Cage that was supposed to happen?
Yeah, a guy was asking Tim Burton, like, who did you have in mind for Brainiac? Because, you know, I heard it was going to be Jim Carrey, and Tim Burton's like, Jim Carrey? Jim Carrey? Where'd you hear that? I did not have Jim Carrey in mind for...
You are not about to tell me he was considering David Spade for Brainiac, are you?
No. But another guy you just mentioned.
Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
My God, that would have been amazing.
Right, because he said he had that weirdness, but yet also intimidating. Right. It's something scary. Yeah.
I want to see that now. Fuck whoever they have planned to play Brainiac. It should be Christopher Walken.
Right. He's got that kind of like, are you listening to me? With that look in his eye, right? You know what I mean?
He is a scary looking motherfucker.
And there was a bunch of variations on the design that they had. There was designs like what he had originally drawn based on Tim Burton's drawing, which is just this sketchy looking stick figure, right, with a cape. He was like, well, he's going to have a cape, right, that hangs down, and underneath his cape he's like a spider, right?
So wait a minute.
Have his head in a glass dome, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's like Mars Attacks.
I wasn't going to say Mars Attacks. I was going to say Lost in Space. That's the doctor from Lost in Space at the end of the movie.
Yeah, when did that movie come out? Because that movie came out like 99 or something, didn't it? Like,
That was 97, I think. 96,
Yeah,
97.
but I mean, with the head and the glass dome with the cape and the drawing that he had kind of looked like Mars Attacks. So I think some of the stuff he was doing it because, well, I mean, Mars Attacks didn't really have the budget he wanted to work with. But, man,
You know what? Christopher Walken does kind of look like one of the Mars Attacks aliens.
yeah, I could see that working. I could see that working. But I think he threw a lot of ideas that he had wanted to do for Mars Attacks, but just didn't have the money for it. It's like, Warner Brothers, give me $100 million to do this stuff. It's great.
The movie would have sucked, though. I can't see Nicolas Cage as Superman. I can't. I just can't. I've seen him in the costume, and it looks awful, in my opinion.
Well, there was several costumes, and you do get to see the final photograph test right before they were going to start shooting it. And the costume looks like Superman. It looks like the one Henry Cavill's wearing, where it's mostly just shiny fucking tights.
I think I know which one you're talking about, and it looked like the fucking bat suit from Batman and Robin to me. It looked like it was one of those fucking anatomically correct muscle suits.
Right, like a muscle suit.
He would have had bat nipples and super nipples.
Right. And he was going to have in fact, the red underwear had been reduced to a red, just the cod piece. So it looked like a cup.
Well, that's another similarity to the bat suit then, because the bat suit had a cod piece. Remember?
Oh yeah, big cod piece.
That suit, the Robin suit, and even the fucking Batgirl suit had a cod piece. I don't know if it's still a cod piece if it's on a chick.
Well, because they wanted to get away from the red underwear apparently for a while, and they were like, let's reduce it down, and until it was eventually not even underwear, but it's just his crotch, just right in front.
Yeah, the red underwear is always stupid.
If he turned around, I would have liked to have seen just blue butt cheeks with just a tiny red line. Because he's wearing a thong.
I was just going to say the same thing.
A red super thong.
John, do you have Teddy friended on Facebook, John?
Yeah, I do.
Did you see that picture he shared that's supposedly Doomsday in the new movie?
Yeah, I saw it.
Don't know what that is. Really
I
don't.
really hope that's fake. Because I don't want to see him fight Doomsday already. I don't want to see him fight Batman and then fight Doomsday. Because they're blowing their fucking load.
Yeah, they are. They're totally blowing their load. But he could defeat Doomsday, but not ultimately defeat Doomsday. Doomsday could come back in another movie.
But if you're gonna fucking have Doomsday, why have Superman beat him? The whole point of that character was that something showed up that was so goddamn destructive that even Superman can't really stop this fucking thing. He can stun it, but the thing is gonna take him out too.
The thing that makes no sense to me is during that whole entire Doomsday thing with Superman, Batman and everybody else was literally nowhere to be seen. So having Batman, Wonder Woman...
No. Yes, they were. They fought him first.
Oh.
They tried to take him on, and he wiped out the Justice League by himself, and then Superman showed up.
Right. But we have to have a villain that Superman can't take on by himself.
That's what I'm saying. Him and the entire Justice League was not enough to stop Doomsday. Because all they did was stun him, and then he came back. And then they had to come up with a bunch of different solutions for how the fuck do we keep this thing from coming back. They had two solutions that I remember. One is drag his ass to the very end of the universe and let entropy destroy him. And two, put him in 4 Star Trek transporters that are constantly transporting him so he's only ever 25% complete.
So basically, what you're telling me is that whole Superman Doomsday movie didn't really have anything to do with what actually happened with Doomsday, to where they ended up killing each other in that
No,
fucking.
fuck no. That movie was completely off, dude. After Superman and Doomsday took each other out, 4 new Supermen showed up. A young clone made by Cadmus that was Superboy, who was a hero. Steel dressed up like Superman. He put like the logo and he had a cape and a big ass sledgehammer. Um, Eradicator, which is actually a Kryptonian doomsday weapon AI that he's the one who recovered Superman's body and put him in the healing chamber, but something happened that made him think that he was Superman, so he started flying around doing Superman shit, but he was a lot more violent and emotionless about it. And a cyborg Superman who was some other character, but like he pretended to be a good guy and then he blew up an entire city. And he's the one who got rid of Doomsday's body. He considered it a threat, so he fucking flung it off into space.
Yeah, he was a cyborg, but also made up of cloned Superman material. So
Yeah, 'cause from what I remember is that, like you said, that movie didn't really fucking happen, but from what I remember from reading the comics and everything compared to the movie, in the comic books, after they ended up killing each other and shit, they had like some kind of fucking regen chamber in the fucking Fortress of Solitude that fucking Superman healed himself in, and then in the fucking movies they had fucking Lex Luthor fucking build a fucking Superman clone and shit like that. So
Well,
I'm like,
that's kind of what happened in the comic. In the comic, Luthor is the one who basically pays for his funeral, which, by the way, Hillary and Bill Clinton are in this story arc. They're in the comics. They give a speech at Superman's funeral. I just wanted to throw that in there because I just remembered it.
yeah, but DC can't have the real presidents. You know,
that'd be pretty funny if they managed to do that, though.
They did. It was
What?
Bill and Hillary Clinton. They said their names.
Yeah, but what state is Metropolis in?
It's the replacement for New York.
And what state is Gotham City in? I don't understand. It's a
Gotham is also in New York, I think.
No, Gotham is New Jersey.
Oh yeah.
I guess. That was news to me, but apparently that's how it's always been, according to what I've read. I've never thought to look it up before. I always assumed Gotham was in Chicago.
That's what I assumed, but apparently they're closer than that. They're
Yeah,
just
I guess
like
it never really occurred to me that Gotham is attached to the sea, so it has to be a coastal city. I don't know that. I never thought of that before. But anyway,
well, yeah, I mean, it's like where's Springfield on The Simpsons? It doesn't really exist, you know.
So you know how they're setting up for this Justice League thing and everything like that? You know what comic series for the Justice League that I'd actually like to see them do that I think would make a good live-action movie for how dark it is?
Flashpoint Paradox.
That or the fucking Injustice series.
Injustice would be too dark for a movie.
Is there any DC superhero storyline that doesn't involve Superman, Batman, or the Flash?
Well, of course, there's all kinds of DC superheroes.
That anyone gives a shit about?
Okay, well, if you put it like that,
I mean, that's the problem with DC. I mean, Marvel's got all these characters. They're kind of all interrelated, and it's kind of interesting. They got room to fucking fail, right? If like Ant-Man flopped, they were like, yeah, we'd be okay. It's going to be all right, you know. And they tried their best to make the Incredible Hulk an improvement on the previous Hulk, and it still just didn't do very well. A Thor movie could have flopped, and that's okay. We can keep going. We got a bigger plan. DC is literally putting all of their eggs in one basket. And I have seen a major studio put these kind of plans in line and seen it work out. Whether it was like the new Terminator trilogy, it's going to be great, or it was the Matrix fucking movie. Same studio, by the way. Same studio tried to make the Matrix trilogy and saw how that fucking turned out. You know what I mean? I don't see it working. I don't see it working. They're setting themselves up for fucking a huge fucking failure. I'm telling you.
They are. The only character I haven't heard of them putting in this movie is Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, and they're not going to because Goya says he's goofy. Goya has no plans of putting in the Martian Manhunter or a lot of other characters.
Manhunter's badass though.
Yeah, he's pretty badass.
Well, yeah, but they have such goofy names. He doesn't even want to call Superman in the movie. He's kind of like Superman, you know, because he's ashamed of what they are. And Martian Manhunter is one of the stupidest ones. His name, Martian Manhunter. He's a Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
his real name's John. Right?
We're probably not going to hear. We're probably not going to hear Wonder Woman if that's the case. They're just going to call her
Diane or something.
Diana. Her name's Diana.
And they're going to be like, yeah, they're going to refer to her by name. They're going to say, oh, you're a Wonder Woman, a woman of wonder, or something.
Yeah, they'll say it one time like they did with Superman in the last movie.
It's from
I don't
the
know why they'd be ashamed of calling them their fucking names and shit.
Right. But I mean, Lantern. The Green Lantern is such an old idea. He's got a lantern that shines into the darkness, right? Powered by the most powerful technology we know, kerosene. Like, yeah.
They're trying to do what Christopher Nolan did and make it almost believable that this shit could happen. But here's the thing. That only worked because it was Batman.
Yeah, and it was cast in a real world, which this is not.
It's a dude dressed up in a tactical outfit that every silly thing about it, it all serves a function. Even the stupid ears we were shown has a function. It's got antennas in it that let him listen into fucking everything. Makes sense. I mean, hey, yeah. And he dresses up like a bat because he has a phobia of bats, and he's got this psychological thing going on. Okay, makes sense. Superman is a fucking alien in a cape that flies around and pushes fucking planets around.
And I mean, the only time I ever really see people not call Superman or anybody from the Justice League Superman or whatever their names are is if they actually know their fucking identities and shit. So if it's like someone like fucking maybe fucking Lex Luthor or somebody who knows or some point in time finds out Superman's identity and calls him fucking Clark Kent or some shit like that, I'd be fine with it. But just to have some random fuck who has no clue who Superman really is not call him Superman would just be ridiculous.
Well, it's going to be history repeating itself, I see. I mean, as far as DC's long-term plans, they've already got plans to have Rocksteady, the company that made their Batman games, are going to work on a Superman game. And I can see this happening. When this Superman game comes out, people are going to be like, it's not very good. Because you can't take the same winning team that made Batman and then just hand them Superman. Here you go. Here you go. Do it.
Video game companies don't work like movie companies, though, Teddy. That might actually be a good game.
Who knows, though?
Gaming
The track record of Superman games, though, doesn't leave me very fucking hopeful.
I know, but video game companies are usually really consistent with the quality of product that they put out. Movie companies, not so much.
Well, I mean, it could go either way. Even Rocksteady kind of dropped the ball on at least one of those fucking Batman games.
Well, no, Origins wasn't made by them.
Right, but they can hand it off to somebody else for them to work on. Right.
I know, but
there's so much work to be done. There's so many people working on those things, you know.
I have a question, though. I was mentioning the Injustice storyline and how it'd make a good live-action film, and Ark said it'd be too dark. I mean, how would it, compared to all the other stuff that they've done lately or that they could do, how would that be the one story that could be too dark?
Because Superman straight up rips out the Joker's spine. He grabs people and lobotomizes them with his heat vision. Everybody gets the living shit beaten out of them until they're like blood on the floor. It's just one of those stories that wouldn't translate into a movie very well unless it was R-rated or a very, 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 very hard PG-13.
And I mean, if it was R-rated, I'd be fine with it.
They would have to jack off somebody at the MPAA to get a fucking PG-13 rating.
I'm just saying, if they're willing to do like shit like fucking Doomsday, to where they have fucking Superman getting the tar beat out of him and fucking potentially killed, or however, I still don't think he ended up dying in that fight, honestly. But still, they're doing a fucking Doomsday storyline and shit.
He doesn't die. He gets as close as he possibly can. But yeah, that is going to probably be a really violent fight.
I mean,
it's like, but it's like them making a storyline out of Marvel zombies. That's probably not going to happen.
Be funny though. I like the Marvel zombies.
Yeah, but that's not going to happen. I mean, I see what is that this plan.
Hold on. I've only ever heard of Marvel Zombies. What is Marvel Zombies?
Well, they all just go zombies. Everybody turns into a zombie.
They're
Basically,
all zombies.
zombie apocalypse inside of the Marvel universe.
So are they like
Marvel universe? Yep.
What kind of zombies we talking here? Like no intelligence, dead people zombies, or like them but zombified?
Them zombified, like zombie Wolverine, zombie Hulk, shit like that. Basically, a zombie apocalypse taking place inside of the fucking Marvel universe.
Do they all eat brain?
Yes, and they explore a lot of ideas. There's one character who's just trying to hang on to his sanity while he's doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? Kind of rationalizing it in the head, and what happens and stuff. It's kind of wacky. There are some ideas, but they blend the whole Marvel universe. I mean, even Howard the Duck turns into a zombie.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, basically it's all the fucking characters of Marvel trapped inside a fucking zombie apocalypse. I don't think all of them are zombies, if I remember correctly, but majority of them are, and then you have the select few survivors trying to fight against them, so...
Right, but they cover the whole Marvel universe as what's going on. This impacts the entire Marvel universe. And DC did something similar with vampires.
Oh my god.
And because Marvel did the zombies thing, which originally, it kind of started as a kind of a joke. That some illustrators doing the familiar Tales from the Crypt style illustration started doing covers, like the famous Spider-Man cover, right, where he's swinging, but everyone's turned into zombies, right? The famous cover of an Avengers issue, except everyone's made zombies, like with their eyes are falling out and their teeth are showing and stuff, right? That's what the whole idea started. Like, just some variant covers that they did with zombies. But then they did the whole thing, let's do it, right? And then DC was like, that sounds like a good idea. What do we do with vampires? Which is what DC does all the time. They're like, well, what's Marvel doing? We should do something like that. You're just like, yeah. That's how their meetings go. They're like,
John, post a link.
DC. That's how they talk.
John.
Yeah.
Did you even post a link to the podcast?
Oh, shit. No, I'll just fucking let them watch it later.
Oh my god, we probably had no viewers this entire time. Oh well, fuck it.
All our viewers usually end up coming after we finish the podcast anyway. There's always that one person that watches it, and then more people watch it after it's over anyway.
Well, I know Sophie wants to watch it, so fetch the link and post it.
Do it. Do it.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yes, DC is about to fuck themselves royally, Because if this movie doesn't work, and it's probably not going to because half the audience has already decided they hate it, they're going to have to just keep doing it, I guess. They've fucking got all these movies planned. They have to do it.
Right, and that's kind of what's going on with 20th Century Fox. They're people are like, oh well, they're not making Fantastic Four 2. And like, yeah, they are. They've got all this. These balls are up in the air already. These plates are fucking spinning. You know.
They're actually gonna make a sequel.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Wow.
Fix it in post. Like, we're gonna fix it in post. It's gonna be fine. Right? We're getting another director. It's going to, you know.
I was just on Facebook posting the link, and I was scrolling down my feed, and apparently the first trailer...
That's the genius of the reboot, right? When did they first...
Hold on. What, John?
I was scrolling down my feed and everything, going to post a podcast, and apparently I saw a thing, you know, the whole trending shit that you were bitching about earlier. Apparently the trailer for fucking Captain America Winter Soldier was released. Or not Winter Soldier, Civil War.
Oh!
Really?
Oh! Where?
I'm gonna click on it, see if it's legit, but it was on my fucking Facebook timeline. I'm just posting the podcast link real quick.
I don't know if it's for sure. If it's legit.
I don't
podcast
about it in my. Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, put it in the Facebook.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. So with this.
So it's legit.
Might not actually be a trailer. It says revealed at D23 Expo, so that probably means it's not online right now.
Oh, but they've scheduled when they're going to release it.
It exists, so it'll be on the internet within a couple hours.
Right.
You know how people are. Fucking everybody's got a camera now. I'm going to record this and put this on YouTube and piss everybody at fucking Marvel off.
Marvel won't be too upset. DC
Well, yeah.
Okay, so you know how you were saying that like fucking DC basically just copies Marvel and whatever the fuck they do. I'm willing to bet after Deadpool gets released, Marvel's gonna greenlight a Deathstroke movie.
They'd be better off doing Lobo, but they won't.
Lobo would not work unless it was R-rated.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If it works, it would be an R-rated Lobo movie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah.
But DC's already redone Lobo. Have you seen what Lobo looks like now?
No, but I'm going to. Is it going to kill me? Am I going to cry?
Do you remember that band Orgy?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what the new Lobo looks like.
Oh, no.
Yeah, like he would have been better off. But instead, he looks like he kind of looks like Psycho Mantis, a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not a good thing because Psycho Mantis is dressed like a fucking gimp.
Right, that's not Lobo, right?
That's not Lobo. That's the worst redesign I've ever seen. Oh my god, what did they do to him?
They're doing really retarded stuff. Have you seen what Bizarro Superman looks like in the new world? In the new 52? They were like, let's redo Bizarro Superman. Like, what? Bizarro Superman looks like a sexy Frankenstein.
In a t-shirt.
You know the most fucked up thing about the new 52 that I've noticed? They basically erased over half of the fucking Teen Titans from existence in the new 52.
I'm totally cool with that.
Like Cyborg, I think they released him. I think they erased fucking Raven and shit. Which I mean,
sure, why not?
I'm just you're gonna have like a fucking Justice League and shit and be consistent and shit. Cyborg was one of the fucking members of the Justice League, so.
Man, I ain't even gonna lie. This Lobo redesign has me genuinely bummed out.
Yeah, that's Lobo in the new world.
Like, I'm straight up not feeling happy with my life now seeing this. Right.
was fine. They're going to go back to classic Lobo. I mean, that's part of the thing. I think they intentionally go in wrong directions from time to time, just so that the new shit looks better. You know?
Yes, but man, I've seen a lot of really awful redesigns lately. Like, did you see that article I posted? That bullshit, the 10 most needlessly sexualized comic book characters, and now they're brand new good costumes that's so much better, and they all look like shit.
What was the Batgirl that just didn't look like Batgirl anymore, or was it something else? Spider Girl.
Spider Girl. Batgirl looks like Batgirl's new outfit looks like Hit Girl.
Yeah, it's more of a jacket.
Yeah, that's fine though. It looks fine, but the Spider Woman one, she looks like a terrible 1950s like newspaper comic character.
You know, she got the Robin mask thing going on.
Yeah,
Or like the or like Catwoman looked like,
and she got
full costume. One of the Catwoman's early costumes, right?
yeah, and she's got web wings, which always looks stupid. They look stupid when Spider-Man has them. And Starfire, they made Starfire look like Starfire from the Teen Titans cartoon.
Yep.
Like, they gave her the exact same outfit because people, I guess, feminists decided to pick up a comic for the first time in her life and read about Starfire, and she was offended, even though that's just how Starfire is. She's just kind of a slut because she doesn't understand human sexuality, really. She's got, like, a basic grasp of it.
Well, yeah, and it's like they don't get it. They don't get it. Why should they? It doesn't matter.
They think that Starfire is how she was in the cartoon, and she's not. That was a very, very toned down version of her. Instead of fucking, she wants friendship.
I don't understand why some people hop on this bandwagon. It's only got to be popular stuff, though. Nobody's ever criticizing something that's not popular. You know?
No, they're not. No.
There's no reason to. They are trend chasing, even if, you know. Stupid.
People just don't care if they can't criticize it. So
Yeah, there has to be something morally repugnant about everything today, doesn't there?
There is something morally repugnant about everything.
Is there?
That's what I like about it. Like, don't give me anything unless it's not morally repugnant. I got no time for your G-rated crap.
But does everybody have to be so pussified and offended by everything? I'm getting sick of people being offended by fucking everything.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Everything is like, I've seen people bitching about the new Star Wars because this fucking guy holding the lightsaber is black.
hey, I found a trailer for it on YouTube.
Fucking called it. Maybe it was the one person watching us. Maybe they heard it and was like, "Oh yeah, I should go record it and post it for everybody."
I could screen share it now. It's kind of shaky camera if you guys don't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, fuck it.
I mean, it's already on fucking YouTube. What harm can it do now?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me.
Wait. Maybe you shouldn't, because we might get a copyright hit if you do.
Yeah, good point. I'll just watch it. We can just watch it on our own time.
Yeah, we'll watch it. Fuck it, I'll watch it right now. Just share it. We'll fucking just be quiet for a second. Watch this trailer.
Alright, hold on. Trying to find a better fucking link to it.
I'm curious about this movie because everybody bitches about DC being too dark and gritty, and they like how fun the fucking Marvel movies are, but this is when the story starts getting serious and people start dying. Like, this is borderline fucking Holocaust metaphor shit that happens in the Civil War story arc. Teddy says share it on Facebook, so I guess he must be muted.
Alright, well, never mind, because as soon as I fucking went to load it back up, it said it was fucking taken down.
I found it. I'm going to hurry very quickly.
I think it was the fucking trailer. I don't fucking know. There's so many fucking leaks now. If not, it'll probably be up within an hour or so anyway.
Oh, it will be.
I ain't too fucking worried about it.
Okay, hold up. I'm going to mute my microphone.
Hello. Yeah, I was calling to see if I'd left that casserole there, but Mom got a hold of me, told me I did. Alright, I was looking for that, wondering if I had it in your truck or something. Alright. Alright, bye. Bye.
Okay, yeah, fuck that. It's pointless to watch that trailer.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be
I didn't hear anything you said, but when I was trying to watch it, it's just screaming and shearing the whole time. You can't hear it.
Yeah.
Um,
They'll have something up within a couple of days, I guess.
I caught one line. Heroes are being forced to choose a side. So apparently, yes, this is actually the fucking Civil War comic book arc, which means that Iron Man or Captain America, I can't remember which, might be about to die.
It's Captain America, I think. He ends up getting killed by a soldier of Hydra, I think. Then he gets shot through the neck, I think. Something like that.
I think I heard that he was sick of playing Captain America, but I'm not sure. I think Robert Downey Jr. is sick of playing Iron Man.
You think a lot of them would be sick of playing a lot of those characters. That's all they're fucking known for now.
Yeah, but many. They're getting very, very rich this way.
Yeah.
But let's face it, Robert Downey Jr.'s career was kind of in the toilet until he got the Iron Man role.
Yeah, it was. He pretty much wouldn't. He'd pretty much still be a no one right now if it weren't for Iron Man.
He was he was one of those, oh, they're in trouble again, they're on drugs. He was one of those celebrities. And then he cleaned it back up.
What you're telling me is that we should give Charlie Sheen a fucking superhero role and it'll help his fucking career back.
Oh god, who could Charlie Sheen play?
Either that or a super villain. I think Charlie Sheen would make a better villain than a hero.
He could be... God damn, who could he be? Gambit. He can be Gambit. Johnny Depp trying to do a Cajun accent.
God. What villain would he be, though? I kind of see him as a fucking Riddler type character, honestly.
No, fuck that, no. Riddler has to be smart.
I never really thought of Riddler as smart, more of just a guy who likes to ask questions all the time.
His thing is that he has a seriously high IQ, but Batman is smarter than him, and that drives him insane. So his whole thing is that he wants to outsmart Batman because he just doesn't believe that anybody can be smarter than he is.
Oh, I know a villain he could be. The Toad.
X-Men Evolution, the TV show.
He could
I
be.
love that show. Whatever happened to that show? It was not that bad. Did it just get canceled or what?
No, they finished it. They just the fact that once they finished it, they rushed into some other fucking series.
So is Teddy just gonna leave his mic muted or something, or?
I don't know what he's doing. My Facebook overloaded, so I can't do anything on it right now. All I know is that trailer was crap, because all I could do was see, and Marvel trailers, their visuals are never really all that, like, interesting. It just basically shows you, yeah, this person's in it, and this person's in it, and this person's in it. They showed Vision. Vision's going to be in it. And
I think
so many characters are in this movie that I'm kind of questioning why this isn't just considered the Avengers.
Isn't Civil War what they call the Avengers outside of the Avengers?
It's a war between Tony Stark and Captain America over some fucking fascist-ass superhero registration bullshit that they...
I know what the Civil War arc is and shit, but at the same time, doesn't this, like... This takes place between Avengers 2 and fucking Avengers 3, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. I assume. But...
Because what I'm trying to figure out is, like... Because I know the Infinity War thing is supposed to be 2 parts, so isn't the Civil War supposed to be a 2-part movie as well?
I don't think so. I haven't heard it called Part 1. I've just heard it called Civil War. Kind of seems like a story that you wouldn't be able to fit into one movie, but...
You'd think so.
Curious to see how that goes. Maybe this is the movie where it happens and Marvel finally fucks up really bad.
You know, if they're... You know how we were talking about the fucking DC shit with Injustice and all that crap? You know, if they were to do something like that, like just have some really dark fucking storyline and shit, honestly, because they were talking about making another Green Lantern film and everything, right? And probably the most interesting thing I could figure out, you know, the fucking whole Darkest Day storyline and everything that leads up into fucking Flashpoint and everything like that?
Darkest Day. That sounds familiar, but I don't know what it's about.
Darkest Day is basically... It's a 5-part storyline thing that starts with fucking Hal Jordan and a bunch of the other Lanterns losing their rings and everything because the fucking Guardians or whatever are fucking going batshit crazy trying to fucking basically dictate how everybody lives their lives. So it's basically the Green Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns, all the other Lantern Corps have to come together and shit to fucking stop the Guardians who are fucking working for a higher fucking deity and shit like that. And it's just a huge fucking clusterfuck of a bunch of lanterns and shit, and we're at the end of it, it ends up having fucking... The end of the fucking Darkest Day arc leads straight into the fucking Flashpoint Paradox arc, which leads straight into fucking Injustice, so...
There are actually like a lot of really good DC movies out there. It's just they're all animated. I've seen some really good shit in the DC animated universe. That
Yeah.
show, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, those were great fucking shows. Like, I don't really want to spoil it because, like, I'm suggesting it to people, but there was very rarely when I'm watching any show or any movie do I actually out loud say, oh shit. Justice League Unlimited is one of the few things that actually made me go, oh shit! That did not go good! This is bad! This is very bad! Holy fuck! Because, like, I don't remember what's supposed to happen, but the worst possible thing that could ever happen happens instead.
But yeah, if you want to know a good, if whoever's watching this, if you're wanting to know a good way to understand the fucking whole comic book thing with DC and shit, or Marvel, there's a YouTuber that I watch that basically, the YouTube channel is Comic Story, and what he does is basically he'll take a whole entire fucking important story arc, like fucking Civil War or Flashpoint, a whole entire thing that would basically take hours to understand by yourself, and basically slims it down in a matter of 10 to 20 minutes to make it still, to have it still make complete sense without even fucking messing up any of the important story details. So basically, you can get the whole entire story of a 5 fucking comic book arc that would take you at least 4 days in a matter of an hour.
Did you ever watch the Justice League Unlimited show?
Is that the one that had fucking the fucking... God, who's that fucking black guy?
Jon Stewart. Yeah, his name's Jon Stewart.
Yeah. I'm always thinking the fucking Daily Show with Jon Stewart.
I know. I thought the same thing. I was like, Jon Stewart? Wow, that's unfortunate. Okay, everybody who is watching live, watch for me to do this. This means spoilers are over. Everybody else just skip ahead a little bit. I'm going to tell him, unless you don't give a shit about spoilers, I will tell you the thing that made me go, oh shit. They were teleporting something. I don't remember what it was. They were trying to teleport something to Earth. And what came out of it was fucking Brainiac and Darkseid fused together. And there was no indication up to this point that he was about to appear. Just, oh my god, fucking Darkseid is here. He's fused with Brainiac, and he's about to fucking kick everyone's asses. And he does. And that's where that Superman speech comes from, where he gives that fucking, I feel like I live in a world made of cardboard. He tells Darkseid, but I can let loose on you. You can take it. So now everybody's going to get to see just how powerful I really am. Okay, people watching, and yeah, there. Spoilers over. Seriously, that scene was fucking awesome. That whole arc was awesome. I don't normally like cartoons, but there are 2 Teddy Rubbskins here.
I've noticed. It's strange.
Holy shit! I just saw your face, dude. My world is upside down. I just saw a little bit of his fucking face. I have no idea what he looks like.
Who?
Teddy.
Teddy's learned how
God
to...
damn it. I was trying to fucking happen it.
You were bound to slip up sooner or later, man.
Facing camera on his fucking phone. Hey, there's 2 of me in here. What the fuck is going on?
Oh no, the other you never signed out.
Fucking retarded. I
We'll just say that was evil, Teddy.
I'm so done.
Are you there? I think his microphone fucked up.
Indeed.
Proceed. What
There
the
you
fuck?
are. Okay. So did you watch that trailer?
Is it up? Is it up?
Yeah,
not.
but it's not really worth watching. The sound of the trailer is completely drowned out by the crowd.
I'm just gonna
No.
wait.
For some reason, the crowd was like at full on standing ovation throughout the entire trailer. So
Is this
they
like
were really
Spanish?
excited. No, it was fucking. I don't know what I might have been. I don't know, but they're all fucking cheering at the top of their lungs through the whole thing.
Oh, but I see skull guy
Skull guy.
right at the beginning. There's a guy with the skull mask.
That was Vision. Wasn't it?
This is right after there's the shot of the picture, and then there's a shot of a guy with a machine gun, and that's Skull and Bones or something.
Oh well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Or
a
something
Hydra symbol.
And he's like, yeah, he's definitely a bad guy. And he was one of the soldier guys in the in Winter Soldier, who was Hydra, right?
Do you think they'll ever make another Punisher movie?
No, Punisher's going to be on the Daredevil show.
Oh yeah, they are redoing Daredevil, aren't they?
Which will he get his own movie from that? Probably not. I think they're setting up a whole Netflix set of universes. You know,
Everybody's talking about all these superhero shows and shit, and I'm just sitting here waiting for the fucking heroes, the show Heroes, to be rebooted finally.
I caught maybe 3 episodes of Heroes, but that's it. All I remember is that Mr. Spock was the bad guy.
And they're apparently supposed to save a cheerleader in order to save the world, something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think. I heard that tagline all the time, but I didn't catch any of those episodes, and I was told that the cheerleader ended up not amounting to fuck.
She didn't, but at the same time, it had pretty fucking... It was a decent storyline and had pretty fucking memorable characters and shit.
You know what?
I think the show changed as it went on, because originally they were like, save the cheerleader, that was the idea. But I think it changed why they needed to save the cheerleader by the end of the first season. Like, they didn't expect it to do so well. So at first it was save the cheerleader because...
she's indestructible.
Right, she's indestructible, and maybe she will be able to do something because of her indestructible ability. You know, she's going to be able to walk on a fire that somebody else can't do. But then it kind of turned into save the cheerleader because the bad guy who's stealing powers from people, if he steals her power, well, then he'll be indestructible. Right, and that kind of changed before the end of the show. Because that was what happened by the end of the season. It's like, we have to save the cheerleader from getting their power stolen by the bad guy.
Alright, so Teddy, so I take it you've seen some of the series then. You know the whole thing where they had the part where basically they were having the heroes register themselves, and then they were doing the bag and tag type deal with all the fucking people with powers and shit, right?
Bag and tag.
Basically register, and then it's like the whole entire fucking thing from Civil War. Register yourself, and then the fucking police force and everything are bagging and tagging people with fucking powers and bringing them in for fucking testing and experiments and shit like that.
Oh.
Basically, that's what the whole entire new series is going to be about. It's basically the sequel to the end of the last season, where Fucking cheerleader's dad walks away from the fucking company, shuts the shit down, and lets everybody go. Apparently, somebody revives his fucking company behind his back, and now they're going back into the fucking series, doing the bagging and tagging bullshit again.
I always miss
That was real good.
I always miss the big NBC shows. Like, I never caught Heroes. I never caught Lost. I still haven't watched Hannibal.
I tried watching.
I haven't watched that either.
I've been told Hannibal is fucking great.
I tried watching Lost. I didn't like it. It just made no fucking sense to me.
I want to watch Hannibal, but at the same time, I'm just like, it just seems like it's going to be so neutered because it's a fucking TV show on NBC.
Well, it's not that it's neutered. It's just that it's all the subtext is like, oh, do you wanna fuck me? I mean, eat me? I mean, it's just a lot of.
Apparently, all that's in there. I've been
Right.
told it's fucking amazing and it's fucking unbelievable that they get away with this shit. But I mean, Mads Mikkelsen, I could see him being Hannibal Lecter. He's fucking scary looking. He looks like he would be a psychopath. He's got that one eye that's never fully opened. He's got that stone face.
Oh, he was in the James Bond movie, right?
Yeah. He's a fucking evil looking person. Like, just by default, you don't need to do anything to his face.
But they did to make him scarier.
They made it hot, and that's about it.
Yeah.
In Hannibal, though, I could see him being Hannibal Lecter. I really could. Because I'm not one of those people that thinks that only Anthony Hopkins can do that role.
No, he was done all right in that Manhunter movie by that one guy.
Brian Cox.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
Yeah, Manhunter was actually pretty good. I was surprised. The music sucked.
People are always like, no, that's not. Well, I'm like, he did pretty good. I thought he was pretty good. Anthony Hopkins is a good actor, but he's not a great actor. Come on.
I think the last thing Anthony Hopkins in was that fucking Exorcism movie that he did.
That movie sucked ass. I know exactly what you're talking about. That movie sucked ass.
The Right?
Yes, that movie was balls, dude. That was like sci-fi original movie bad. Like a movie you find at a video store on the bottom rack, and your only interest is the kind of cool box art, so you rent it, you take it home, and you never watch it ever again, and you forget it exists.
And that's the kind of world that Anthony Hopkins comes from.
Yeah.
The movies he made before he was Silence of the Lambs. That's the kind of crap he was making before that. I think, yeah.
The fastest Indian in the world.
You know the sad thing about horror movies nowadays? I was fucking looking online for something, a preview came up for... There's this new movie that fucking Shamalama Ding Dong is doing called The fucking Visit and shit, and just like basically every other one of his movies, the trailer looks fucking amazing, and I'm just sitting there saying like, holy shit, I would totally fucking see this. And then I see fucking Huh?
And then you saw his name.
And yes, and then I saw his
I know, it's the Shyamalan effect. You're watching a trailer, you're like, dude, this looks fucking... Oh. Yeah, never mind. It's gonna suck.
But that whole effect with that trailer is basically how horror movies are just 24/7 nowadays.
Yeah, but isn't that how it's always been?
I mean, not all the time and shit. I mean,
People, this is something I've been wanting to bring up in one of my videos recently. People are always complaining about how they don't make good movies anymore. And when you think about it, it's always been 90% crap.
Yep.
for each year, we only remember like 2 or 3 movies. But besides those 2 or 3 movies in 1985 when fucking Back to the Future came out, there was also a bunch of crap. Like, crap. Look up movies from 1985. I bet you're going to find a humongous list of movies, and they're all shit, except for a few.
Yeah, but basically what I'm saying is that that goes for every single fucking year, though. But when was the last time when you actually saw one of those really memorable movies actually be a fucking horror?
Well, okay. There's another thing, is that people complain about remakes, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they're remaking that. Oh, they're remaking that. They've run out of ideas, they keep saying. But at the same time, when you talk about an old movie that was really cool, like Beastmaster, that was a good movie. They should remake that. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I would say the last big horror movie I've ever seen or heard of was Paranormal Activity.
And that wasn't even that fucking scary. I found it more
A lot of people disagree with you on that, though. A lot of people were scared by that movie, and whatever. I'm never scared by horror movies, so I don't judge what people find scary. I just don't get that sensation from watching a movie. I can't. It's just not in me.
There's a hell of a lot more horror movies that are getting absolutely shit reviews. The Gallows was one that got absolutely shit reviews.
I've
People
heard,
hated The Gallows.
heard Ouija was really terrible.
And Ouija 2 is coming out anyway.
Yeah.
It was a flop. It was a flop, and it was critically not well received. Yet, because of the deal, I guess they made with the board company people, they got to make a Ouija 2.
I hope to God my mom never watched this podcast, because what I'm about to say, she will smack me right in the face for saying this. The last horror movie I saw that I liked was The Blair Witch Project.
Oh, wow. Haven't seen anything good since then?
I really, really liked The Blair Witch Project. I thought it was a really good fucking concept and a well-executed concept.
The last horror movie I saw that I liked, although I don't really think you can call it a horror movie, more of like a sci-fi movie, was the first Final Destination movie.
I would call those horror movies for sure. And yes, the first one is by far the best one.
How about, did you see Red Snow?
Nah.
Is that the one with the fucking Nazi zombies?
Nazi zombies in the mountains.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen it.
I thought Blair Witch was one of the best fucking horror movies I've ever seen. The sequel is balls. Have either of you ever seen the sequel?
Nope.
The sequel is god damn. But
You like
the first one, no, hell no. The first one,
Yeah. The sequel would have been better if Fairuza Balk was in it.
yeah. But I found out shit about how the process of how the movie was made, and they really did get those fuckers lost in the woods. Like, they gave them a map with the wrong directions, and like they would give them supply drops of food every day, where they would just like go somewhere and find it, but they'd give them less and less food every day, and they were really cold. And like, remember that scene where they're all in the tent and they run up and start beating the tent?
Yeah.
They didn't know that was going to happen to them. And that part where she screams, "Oh my god, what the fuck is that?" It was the director dressed up in a fucking like Jason outfit with a real machete chasing after them in the fucking dark. So
Yeah.
that's why the reactions all seem so realistic, is because they're really people tripping out thinking something is after them.
Yeah, and they weren't that good actors.
What?
Remember the conspiracy theory behind Blair Witch Project?
Hold on, what did you say, Teddy?
They really weren't that good actors.
They weren't, but their scripted parts sucked, but the genuine reaction parts were all real, so, you know, you can't get much better than that.
Right.
Now, what did you say? A conspiracy theory?
Yeah, there was a conspiracy. Apparently, there's a conspiracy theory behind fucking Blair Witch Project.
What's that?
Yeah, I thought I looked into that shit a long time ago. I found it was a bunch of bullshit, but apparently everything was not. It was not just scripted, but staged based on real life events, basically. You know, fucking.
Well,
See, but that's just basically. I've learned like half the horror movies that say based on a true story aren't really based on a true story.
yeah,
Story to draw in more viewers and shit.
I know, but I found the theory to be the conspiracy to be bullshit anyway. Because I'm like, what's the point?
sometimes when they say based on a true story, it's very lightly based on a true story. Like
yeah,
like
it's
a
the
haunted-
wording. They'll say based on a true story or inspired by real life events.
Yeah,
Kinda
That's another
like-
one.
like Psycho and Texas Chainsaw Massacre being based on Ed Gein, even though he never did anything that fucking crazy.
or like the fucking. They don't say it's based on a true story, but the fucking Saw movies and shit, all those fucking traps and shit. Did you know that there was an actual serial killer that actually did shit similar to that with a bunch of fucking random fucking.
I would say the Blair Witch Project could be based on a true story. I don't find it unusual that three dumbasses went out into the woods looking for some supernatural shit and no one ever saw them again because they got lost or they got eaten by a bear. And then, people make up their legends and shit about what happened to them. It seems reasonable. I don't think, there's a possibility that something like that happened and they made the movie and then they found out about a similar situation that did happen, so they're like, oh yeah, it's totally based on true story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but it was marketed as an absolutely true story when the movie came out.
Yes, it was, and people fell for it hard.
Oh yeah.
No movie since has been able to do anything close to that.
And it was all about a 2-page spread in Rolling Stones magazine that led people to a website. It was the first viral marketing campaign.
And it worked fucking great. It was... I remember that shit. People were all fucking convinced that movie was real.
I remember my friends pointing at the Rolling Stone magazine. It's all looking at this Rolling Stone magazine spread like, what's this? Hey, what? And even then there were some guys saying, oh, it's fake. But the movie hadn't even come out yet. But it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
I didn't believe it ever because I knew about the legal thing that they have to do in movies. When I was a little kid, I learned that they have to say if it's based on something. And at the end of the credits, it says, this is all bullshit. None of this is based on any form of truth. And if you think it is, you're fucking stupid. That's not what it says, but it's pretty much what it says.
Well, and I remember when I was a kid, or when I was younger, just the idea that the film in the camera is buried, and they just found it buried. I'm like, yeah, that film's not going to work.
Well, it might if they put it in a bag or something.
But they died with the camera rolling, and it was just like, yeah, okay.
I thought it was real up until I saw the thing at the end and had it confirmed that it wasn't. But when I watched it, I didn't assume anything supernatural. I just assumed a serial killer lived in the woods and killed them.
Well, it was a scary enough idea just alone that even though I knew it was fake, I actually had I was like alone in my house. I was really high. I heard some noises outside. And I was like, I don't know why. But like right about the time the movie had come out, and I hadn't seen it yet, but I was just like, dark forces in the woods.
You know, I think I might have been scared by the Blair Witch Project, come to think of it. The last shot of the movie did scare me as a kid.
It's just the idea, too. It's not the actual movie, you know? That's why they produced the Paranormal Activity. Because this guy, producer, who actually put the film out, he saw the movie, he screened it, right? And then he went to he was like, that's a movie. Yeah, whatever, it's a movie, right? He didn't think much of it. But then he went to the bathroom, right? And then for some reason he closed the door and then went to the bathroom, and then on the way out he was like, the door didn't work at first, and he got scared for some reason. He was like, oh my god, the door's not opening. Okay, whoa. And he was like, huh. Yeah,
Well,
I'll distribute that movie.
Remember back when Scream first came out, like there'd be those people that would get all paranoid if the phone rang after they got done watching Scream.
Yep.
I was one of those people who ended up getting paranoid after the phone rang after the first time I watched the movie The Ring.
I have not seen The Ring.
The Ring ain't that great.
It really is.
Oh, I heard that It Follows is good.
Wait,
It Follows must be really good.
I don't know if I've seen The Ring or not. I feel like I have. I've got a bunch of scenes in my head.
The girl crawls out of the TV.
I know. And she's thrown down a well by her mom, and the ring is what she sees. It's the fuck, yeah. But I don't know if I've actually seen the whole movie or not, but it seems like I might have.
Yeah.
I know I never watched The Grudge.
I actually like The Grudge.
I've heard the Japanese movie was a lot better.
Japanese horror movies are always better, though.
Yeah. I don't know about better. They're different.
They're more intense and easy.
Yes, there you go. More intense. That's the way to describe it.
Yeah.
Um,
But basically, the whole thing with The Ring, it came out when I was like 7 years old and shit. I watched it with a friend, and the thing that really scared me about it's like, as soon as the movie got over, the whole thing is, you watch the movie, phone rings, you're gonna die in 7 days. We finished the movie, fucking phone rings.
Oh, people would freak out about the phone ringing after The Ring came out too.
Yeah,
I forgot
was one
about
of the people that
part.
actually had the phone fucking ring right after I watched the first time.
I forgot about that part. I think I did see the movie one time. I did. I know why I don't remember it. I was fucked up. But I remember watching it, and then afterwards the phone rang, and my buddy was like, "Ah, shit." Okay. But I never saw The Grudge. I heard The Grudge was good, though. I
haven't talked about it either.
I recently saw the first two Evil Dead movies for the first time. Now I need to watch Army of Darkness and the remake.
I haven't seen the remake.
The remake looks like it's an actual horror movie. Like a horror movie that takes itself seriously. So I'm interested to see how that turns out. Because that's
Maybe
it might turn out to be a great horror movie. It's just this is a series that has never taken itself seriously.
I heard they were fucking making a Netflix series based off the Evil Dead.
Yep, and it's going to have Ash in it.
Yep.
Bruce Campbell is back with the chainsaw hand, ready to kill some deadites. Groovy.
I like the sound.
Yeah, I'd watch that. Too bad I don't have Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix is something I might actually get.
I had it before, but then they started taking the movies off and putting TV shows on instead, and that's not what I was fucking paying for. And now they're producing all their own shit, and apparently it's good. Like, isn't Orange is the New Black their show?
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things about that. They talk about their series like people talk about HBO series like Game of Thrones or Oz or The Sopranos.
Fuck The Sopranos.
I never watched The Sopranos. I caught a little bit of Oz, and I do watch Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is abusive to me.
Well, the reason I say fuck The Sopranos is because I actually watched it, and I was one of the ones who voted for the fucking sequel and shit, and caught that stupid ass black hole shit.
I can't hear you. The McDonald's is too loud.
I said the reason why I fuck The Sopranos is because I actually watched the whole entire fucking series when it was fucking on, and caught the fucking finale with the fade to black bullshit, and ended up being one of the motherfuckers that got royally pissed off because of it.
He got shot. He died. They shot him.
I've established that.
I'm not surprised that's how they decided to end the show either. You know.
I don't know how the feeling of a fan seeing it, because I've seen it, but I haven't watched the show, so I'm never going to get that experience. I think from a writer's standpoint, it was actually kind of creative, but I can see why it pissed you the fuck off. I really can. Because I followed all of True Blood, and the final season of True Blood pissed me the fuck off.
Well, I mean, a weird thing for me is that when Sopranos started up, the first season came on the air at the same time as that movie with Robert De Niro and Billy Crystal. Analyze This.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? It's another show. It's like, this is the movie about a gangster who goes to a psychiatrist. And there's the movie. It takes kind of a comic approach to the gangster goes to a psychiatrist. Same thing.
Well, when True Blood came out, I was like, oh, this is Twilight. This is Twilight, but it's R-rated, and it's way better. Like, god damn, it's so much better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the way it seems to go with these popular, you know.
It's almost the exact same story, though. It's about a fucking girl who is resistant to mind reading. Or no, wait. She has mind reading powers, and she can't fall under a vampire's glamour for some reason. And she falls in love with a vampire, and then she falls in love with a werewolf. And there's like a love triangle between these two. But there's also another vampire, and another vampire who's half fairy. And she's a fairy. It gets pretty weird.
A fairy? She's a fairy.
She has the exact same reaction you're having right now when she finds out. She says, I'm a fucking fairy? Oh, that's lame.
That's very lame.
It is lame, but you know, whatever. They acknowledge that it's stupid and they go for it.
Well,
the way the fairies work is that if a vampire drinks fairy blood, he can walk around in the daylight. And they taste and smell like fucking irresistible to a vampire.
Do they sparkle in the sunlight as well?
No. The vampires in True Blood, when they go into the sunlight, they slowly cook like they're in an oven, and they start bleeding everywhere, and eventually just burst into flames. Depending on how old they are, it could take hours or it could take seconds.
So
and
it's kind of like Blade.
Yeah, and if you stake them, they fucking explode into nothing but blood and veins. Like, a lot of nasty veins and shit, and it gets all over you. It's fucking gory as shit. It has the coolest kill I've ever seen in a fucking show or movie. This dude is a shapeshifter, and he turns into a fly, and he flies down into this bitch's throat and turns back into a person while he's in her stomach. and completely rips her apart. It's like a Mortal Kombat fatality. It's fucking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And you get to
I
see
see those.
you get to see Rogue's titties a lot.
That doesn't count. They don't count as boobs.
I mean, there's a lot of other titties. It's got as much gratuitous nudity as Game of Thrones.
All right, well, I'm gonna have to let you guys go now because I have to go cook dinner and shit over here.
All right.
All right, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
This will probably kill the podcast when you do it.
Yeah, I keep going in and out too. Like it keeps shutting down on me. It's acting weird. I don't know what's up with that.
Really, I haven't noticed.
Well, I disappeared for a
Later
bit
on.
and then came back. Lady.
All right, I'll just send it here then.
All right.
See you
All right.
guys.
Yeah.